The term Siddhashram is contemporary to the Vedas. When the Aryan civilization came up on the banks of river Indus, when great sages like Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Garg, Atri, Kannada and Pulastya resonated the whole atmosphere with the chanting of the Vedic hymns related to the gods and nature, through which human race became enlightened. At this same time, the term Siddhashram first appeared in the verses of the Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the first and foremost text of ancient India, in which the relation between the gods and humans, the creation of humans, the totality of human life, and the necessities of human life have been analyzed and explained in detail. In a mantra, a sage says, that is, may we become wealthy, happy, prosperous, famous and courageous. But along with this, may we progress in spiritualism and reach Siddhashram, which is higher than the pedestal of gods and more important than heaven. Through this verse, we can realize that Siddhashram is indeed a very ancient term and is the oldest hermitage, the time of origination of which is unknown. Just as it had been said that the Vedas were never created, that they are everlasting and eternal, similarly, there is no fixed date as to when Siddhashram was established, for it is eternal and perpetual. When the relation of man and nature was created for the first time, man also came to know about the existence of Siddhashram. Just as this world is the field of all material thoughts and actions of a human, similarly, Siddhashram is the spiritual field through which he achieves totality in life. Human life, that is, from birth to death, is only a stage in the real journey of spiritual life, and the mundane life in itself does not constitute completeness and totality. Totality is achieved only by covering the lifespan and then reaching the state where he had separated from the ultimate divine power, the Brahma. After separating from the Brahma, he has to carry out his duties in life, and thus, following the path of life through the realization of religion, wealth and duties, he attains salvation and reaches Siddhashram, where he becomes one with the nature, divinity and joyous rhythm of the place, and again fuses into the Brahma. This complete cycle is repeated over and over again, and it is called Brahmatva Prakriya. It was from this term Brahmatva Prakriya that the word Brahman originated. Later on, all the ancient texts like Upanishads and Puranas, which were created, emphasized on only one fact, that whatever we are doing on this earth, amassing wealth, reproducing, working, rather, whatever we are experiencing is insignificant and incomplete in itself. Just as on a long journey there are several rest points, similarly, human life is just a rest point, and if we consider this point to be the goal, then it shall prove to be fatalistic. It is very late that we realize that this was not our ultimate goal and that we have wasted our lives. Even in the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and the Atharva Veda, one term is common. All Vedas contain different mantras, but all these four texts have stated unanimously that the totality, the essence of human life, is to reach Siddhashram. Then does Siddhashram have so much significance? For all the religions, all cultures, all lines of thoughts, All religious practices developed only later on. This means Siddhashram is a very old word and is a very ancient center of spiritualism where the total thought process of the sages developed. In order to attain this totality, in order to reach Siddhashram, what all should we do? What are the methods of reaching this divine land? If we are not able to achieve totality of life, even after taking birth as humans, then our real spiritual life shall become static, and stillness means death. A milestone is not the goal. It is only there so that we may rest a while, but if we consider it to be a totality, then it becomes the incompleteness of human life. And most of the people end their lives living in this state of incompleteness. Can we reach Siddhashram in this very life? It is surely possible, for in the Yajurveda, where the description of Siddhashram appears, the sage says, that person is indeed great who keeps thinking about Siddhashram and who always remains determined that he has to, by all means, reach the goal which has been called Brahmatva, salvation, and which is in fact the totality of life. It is said in Yajurveda, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamaduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. If we are not able to achieve this totality, then it shall mean that there is no difference between us and the animals. An animal only thinks that eating and reproducing is its only goal in life. We too are but animals, for we too consider eating, resting, amassing wealth as the only goal of our lives, when in fact they do not constitute the goal but are mere amenities of life. If all these children, wealth, family are amenities, then how can we reach the real goal? What is the need to reach that goal? Siddhashram is a divine hermitage which has been constructed by the gods. Vishwakarma, the architect of gods, himself built this ashram. Brahma infused divinity into each particle of this place. Goddess Lakshmi always remains present here. Lord Vishnu has infused this place with ethereal brilliance and with the powers of the mantras. Near Siddhashram, Lord Shiva always remains with his consort Gauri on Mount Kailash, and because he is the god of death, the shadow of death cannot enter Siddhashram. Humans living there do not die, and even the flowers never wilt. The grass always remains lush green and never dries. Flowers bloom and always remain blooming. The nature, life, divinity always remains existing because death cannot reach this place, and life without death is called total life. Round the clock, a soothing brightness like that seen during the dusk or dawn keeps enveloping this place. Neither is there harsh sunshine or darkness of nights in this place. The atmosphere remains filled with a soft dawn-like brightness, and in it you can see sages, Yaksha, Gandharva, Lakshmi, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all gods, yogis, ascetics like Rama and Krishna. You shall find them roaming about, talking with each other, meditating or giving discourses. Reaching this place is the ultimate goal of life, because on reaching this place we shall be able to establish straight contact with our ancestors. It will be a great fortune when a person from the 500th generation shall be able to sit in the feet of his ancestor of the previous 500th generation and listen to his views and his philosophy. A link shall thus be formed connecting all the 500 generations. This way of life forms the greatest philosophy of life, its totality, its completeness. This is in fact a complete process through which a man achieves fulfillment of life and thus fuses into the divine, the Brahma. Ishavasyopanishad clearly states, Aham Brahmasmi. May I spiritually elevate my life and reach the state of God. May I elevate my life even above the greatness of the gods. To reach the state of Brahmatva, we shall first have to achieve the greatness of gods. And this greatness can be achieved only by reaching Siddhashram, because there we can sit in the feet of those sages who have first chanted the hymns of the Vedas, and we can listen to them chanting the mantras of Rigveda and Yajurveda. You may have heard or read that Gita is a discourse which Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna. We can sit before Krishna and listen to the whole philosophy of Srimad Bhagavad Gita from his own mouth. Can there be any fortune greater than this? Siddhashram is a large hermitage which is a place beyond Manasarovar near Mount Kailash, which seems to be endless. The Siddha Yoga lake remains ever filled with holy water. The water is so clean and pure that if a coin is dropped into it, then we can even read the inscriptions on the coin lying in the lake's bottom, at least a mile deep. The Upanishads and Puranas have elucidated only 4 achievements of life: Dharma, that is religion; Artha, that is wealth; Kama, that is pleasures; and Moksha, that is salvation. Dharayati sadharmaha, that is, which is adopted in life is dharma or religion. Through Kama, we are able to reproduce, and this is the basis of a family life. Through Artha, we are able to achieve all comforts and pleasures of life. But what is Moksha? Is death salvation? Is the destruction of the physical form salvation? Or is going to heaven salvation? I think all the philosophers and scholars have defined salvation in different ways, but it has been defined very beautifully in Narad Upanishad. In Mandokya Upanishad, Nachiketa asks Yama, what does salvation mean? What is its utility? What is its aim? Why should we attain salvation? Yama explains all this with very good examples. Moksha or salvation means freeing oneself from all the attachments in life. As soon as all humans are born, they become ensnared in hundreds of attachments. We may be the father of someone and the son of someone else. Someone is our brother, someone is our uncle. We may be someone's servant and someone's master. Thus, all these attachments or relations, as we call them, tie down our lives from the very moment we take birth. One says, he is my son. The other says, he is my brother. One says, he is my nephew. The other says, he is my friend. One says, he is my neighbor. The other says, he belongs to my caste. All these are shackles. As we go on in life, these attachments go on increasing. As man progresses in life, he becomes tied up with his wife, children, the society, the nation. He becomes enmeshed in the snares of religion, wealth, philosophy, work, and several other material attachments. Breaking all these fetters is called moksha. Salvation does not mean death. It means attaining freedom from all bondages. Hence, we can attain salvation even during our lives. It is not necessary that we can attain salvation only after the age of 100 years. Prahlada attained salvation at the age of merely 5 years, while Vasishtha attained it after hundreds of years. Narada achieved salvation in a few years. When a human becomes free from all attachments and attains the state called Paramahans, then this process of achieving this state is called moksha or salvation. And the path on which such a person progresses is the way to Siddhashram. Before reaching this state, it is not possible to go to Siddhashram. A person who is shackled in such attachments cannot concentrate his energies in reaching Siddhashram. Hence, the first step to it is attaining salvation and freeing oneself from all bondages. He should remain contented in all states, whether he gets food or not, whether he has to sleep on a bed or a floor, whether he is married or not. Such a person has no wish, no desire, and no selfishness in his life. He becomes cut off from all attachments. When the whole world seems uniform to him, then he is able to feel the presence of the whole world, of the entire universe in himself. When he realizes that no one belongs to him and he belongs to no one, then he attains salvation. And if we can become tied up with attachments in our lives, then if we try, we can even become free of them. This process of attaining freedom is salvation, and when a person achieves this state, then every step he takes forward brings him close to Siddhashram. Hence, reaching Siddhashram is a stage after attaining salvation. When I talk about reaching Siddhashram, it does not mean that you take 5 to 10,000 rupees and along with your relatives and friends reach Siddhashram and have a picnic. This is not a correct interpretation. Siddhashram means a place where Lord Krishna is present even today, giving a discourse on Gita, saying, first you have to become free from the shackles of all religions. You are neither a Hindu nor a Muslim, and nor are you a Christian or a Sikh. You are nothing. Just concentrate in me. I shall initiate you onto the path to salvation. Having vanquished all your sins, all your vices like lies, deceit, jealousy, and having freed you of all attachments. When you shall attain salvation, you won't see anyone as your relative, friend, brother, or guru. Hence, if you want to win the war, then selfishness, religion, these attachments should not be obstacles in your way. Lord Krishna used the word moksha before Arjuna. He says, you have to detach yourself from all these things and have to stand up as a complete personality. And only when you do this shall you be able to progress on the right path. This was a sermon with deep significance, and after this, Krishna says, O Arjuna, just vanquishing all these shackles and winning a kingdom is not the real goal of your life. This is not the totality of your life. Rather, the goal of your life is becoming a Siddha or accomplished after attaining salvation. And Siddha is one who achieves divinity, one who condenses the whole universe into himself. Then in order to see the universe, he does not have to look outside but can see it within by entering into oneself. And the process of entering into oneself is the process to reach Siddhashram. In fact, Siddhashram constitutes the completeness of one's life, while salvation is just a milestone in the eternal spiritual journey of life. We are all born from the womb of a mother, and we lead our lives shackled in mundane attachments. And when the thoughts of a person reach the divine state, then he attains salvation and a new thought process is initiated into his conscience. What have I to see in life? Where have I to lead my life? I have to reach the secret realms in the universe. I have to fuse into divinity. I have to understand all the Vedas, and thus I have to become complete in myself. This process of becoming complete is the way to reach Siddhashram, because after this there remains no deficiency in life. The process of achieving everything in life is the way to reach Siddhashram. It is not a place where one can sit down, closing one's eyes and meditate. It is a state denoting totality of life. It is a philosophy. In Mandokya Upanishad, Nachiketa asked Lord Yama, why is reaching Siddhashram so necessary in life? Yama says, a human keeps swinging endlessly like a pendulum between two extremes, that is, birth and death, and he has no control over either of them. He takes birth not on his own, but he is pushed into life and he dies due to his evil tendencies. And when through our intelligence and our efforts we are able to progress on the divine path, then we are able to exercise control over life and death, which is the first step to reach Siddhashram. Here, two things are necessary. Firstly, the life should be freed of all selfishness, deceit, lies, and all such bondages, and secondly, death should be conquered, thus clearing one's way to Siddhashram. Nachiketa then asked the second question, which is the path to be chosen after conquering death? Please explain this to me, for you are my Guru. As has just been explained that life and death both are beyond the control of a human being, but he can conquer death and progress forward. Yama says, Nachiketa, in order to achieve totality of life, you have to show aside death, and thus you have to move on. Death is not a thing to be feared. It is a jewel of life. It is a true joy. It is a process of seeing the divine. The people in this world are shackled with attachments, hence they fear death. They panic and tremble just by hearing of death. They eat medicines and potions and resort to all sorts of methods to avoid death. They close themselves in their houses, load their guns, arm themselves with swords and spears, and put up maximum security. But despite all this, they can't escape death, and all their efforts go in vain. And only the Guru, who is a confluence of divinity, can guide you onto the correct path and tell you not to fear death. He shall tell you that there is no need to arm yourself with guns and spears, or to close yourself in your house in order to conquer death. To defeat death, you have to resort to the process, that is sadhanas. Shariram sadhayati, that is, only the person who can control his body and the whole universe can conquer death. Just as we kick a football, similarly, the person who gets rid of all attachments can kick death and can thus conquer it. His life can thus become eternal and death cannot harm him. Death cannot come near him because he has claimed victory over it. And the process of conquering death and attaining totality of life is sadhana, the Siddhashram sadhana. But a person who is shackled in worldly snares cannot teach this sadhana. Your father, mother, brother, sister, no one can teach this to you. Only a person who is free of all bondages, whose soul is free, whose life is liberated, and who is an ocean of divine knowledge can lead you on this way. And by following this path, a person can live on for eternity. He thus reaches a state where there are no ailments, sorrows, anxieties, poverty, deficiencies or worries, where there is true and divine joy. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam, where there is no conflict of thoughts, no fear, no deficiency, where there is only true joy flowing from the heart, the joy or Anand called Brahmanand, that is divine joy. To attain this state, a medium is required, and this medium is a Guru. We are mere human beings and we have to reach the state called Brahma. But we have not seen Brahma, We do not know him. We have not realized his true form. We do not even know what he is like, what his philosophy is. We don't know anything about him. But between us and Brahma, there is a link, and that is the Guru. We know our Guru, his form, his face, his features. In fact, he is just like us, and because he is like us, we are so close to him. Through him and by recognizing him, we can realize the true form of Brahma. We can ask him what our next step should be and which path we should follow. Yama says to Nachiketa, if you want to attain totality of life, if you want to become accomplished and Siddha in life, if you want to awaken your Kundalini and thus wish to attain the state of Brahmanand through Kriya Yoga, then you should first take a Guru in your life. A Guru who is free from all attachments, a Guru who is filled with the enlightenment of divine knowledge, a Guru who can teach you how to conquer death, who can show you the path to Siddhashram where you shall face no deficiency. Such a Guru must be obtained and meditated upon. This is why it is said, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That a Guru is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, and that he is Param Brahma. That is, there is no difference between a Guru and Brahma. Hence I bow down in the Guru's feet. I am a pilgrim on the path to totality. My life is filled with darkness and deficiencies, and I don't know the right path. And in order to realize this path, you should accept a Guru. This is why our Shastras have so much emphasized upon the greatness and the need of a Guru. I have explained to you the significance of Siddhashram and the need of a Guru in our lives. All the Upanishads have laid great stress on the significance of a Guru because a person on his own cannot realize the goal of his life and the way to reach it. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, you should give up everything and join the war, and if you do so, you will surely attain salvation. But the real deeper meaning of these words has not been understood. War here means fighting within oneself, with one's evil dispositions. A person himself has to fight his shortcomings, for a Guru can only advise. A person should try to realize what the deficiencies in his life are, how he can attain success in life, and he shall have to fight all bonds. Love for his wife, affection for his children, he shall have to fight his wealth, comforts, his sorrows, temptations, and when he conquers all attachments, he shall gain the kingdom of heaven. This is why Krishna said, you have to fight and win. And this is what I am saying to you. You are today surrounded on all sides by problems and worries. You consider wealth, comforts and prosperity as the basis of your life. But in fact, you have to reach Siddhashram in this life, and for this you shall have to fight all bondages. It is easy to subdue and conquer everything, but it is almost impossible to achieve victory over the 5 vices. That is Kama, sexual desires, Krodha, that is anger, Lobha, that is greed, Moha, that is infatuation, and Aham, that is the ego. A person's sexual desires never die out. He cannot curb his anger. He cannot give up greed. He cannot free himself from infatuation, and he cannot subdue his ego. And we have to constantly fight these 5 vices. We have 5 fingers, and when we withdraw them and fold them, a fist is formed, which is very powerful. Similarly, a person who conquers all these vices is called Brahma. This is because when a person is able to control all these vices and thus become a complete person, then he attains the state of Brahma and is called a Brahma Rishi. And then in this state, as a Brahma Rishi, he progresses on the path of sadhana and acquires everything in life. A sannyasi who possesses nothing but the powers of his sadhana stands clad in just a loincloth, and even a millionaire bows down in his feet. The millionaire who possesses immense wealth considers himself as a mere particle of soil lying under the feet of the ascetic. Thus you can imagine who shall win in a contest between wealth and spiritualism. Through sadhana, mantra, tantra, yoga and darshan, we can recognize the right path, walking on which we can conquer death. Then we shall die only when we wish to and shall reach Siddhashram. This is why I say that only a guru can explain all this to you. We started the publication of the magazine Mantra Tantra Yantra Vigyan because the whole world is shackled in these bondages and it keeps struggling within to liberate itself so as to breathe in open air, to move forward and to achieve something. But there was no one to guide it or show the correct path. In these conditions, the publication of the magazine was commenced. This magazine is not merely some pages bound together. A sheaf of paper can be bought from the market for 100 rupees, but when special mantras and sadhana processes are inscribed on them, they become invaluable. Knowledge cannot be weighed with money, and knowledge also does not have anything to do with the price of the magazine, for the worth of knowledge is infinite. More important is to understand knowledge, and one who does understand it achieves complete success. Mantra is a set of special rhythmic words by chanting which one can fulfill one's wish. One need not fear the word Tantra. Due to ignorance and selfishness of some people, Tantra became a much dreaded word in society and people became petrified just by hearing about it. The common man thinks that a tantric is a person who drinks liquor, smokes opium, abuses everyone, has large red shot eyes, one who can kill anyone and who always remains engaged in evil works. In my view, such people are impostors, they are not tantrics. Tantra actually means accomplishing mantra sadhana in a very systemized way. If there is a mantra, then the process of its use is tantra. Tantra is the way to perform a sadhana in a proper and correct manner. The method or way to achieve totality in sadhana is tantra. Before constructing a house, its plan is drawn and then the house is built according to the plan. This is done so that the house remains intact for a longer time. Similarly, is there any such plan or map for the practices of mantra and tantra? Is there any way through which it can be known where to establish each god? In fact, there is such a plan, and this figure made of fine lines is called yantra. Thus, to achieve totality of life, three ingredients, mantra, tantra and yantra, are essential because all three are supplements to each other. Without these three, a person shall not be able to free himself of all the bondages which I have mentioned earlier. Vasishtha had said to Katyayani, if you want to attain true joy in life, want to get rid of all ailments, wish to remain eternally youthful, and if you want to achieve totality on the path to Siddhashram, then you shall have to establish harmony with mantra, tantra and yantra. Through this magazine, we have presented the correct use of these three and have revealed rare and secret mantras and their practical application in human life. We have also explained what tantra is, how it is used, how various yantras like Sri Yantra, Kanakadara Yantra, Kuber Yantra, Tara Yantra are prepared. We have explained each detail like where the various gods should be established. This whole process is called Tantra. Tantra and Yantra are mutually linked with each other. This is why we have brought out this magazine. Through this magazine, we revived the knowledge of our ancestors, which was slowly becoming almost extinct, and soon all knowledge of mantra, tantra, sadhanas and Ayurveda would have been wiped out from the face of this earth. And the publication of the magazine is an attempt to resurrect and save all this knowledge by compiling it in a systematic way. The motive behind bringing out this magazine was not to start some business or to earn money, but to save the ancient knowledge of our ancestors from decadence. The magazine is being published for the past several years, and this is evidence in itself that there is still some spiritual awareness in the society and people do want to acquire such knowledge. For if this was not so, the magazine would have stopped coming out. But its success proves that there are sadhakas, such people who are eager to perform sadhanas. And the magazine had been brought out to guide the sadhak as to which sadhanas one should perform and how to perform them. Along with the publication of the magazine, several sadhana camps were also organized, and people who had read the magazine participated in these camps. A magazine cannot tell you how to pronounce a mantra, hence such camps were necessary. One cannot know from a yantra why it was created or how to establish each god. The practical knowledge can be gained only by performing a sadhana, and this is why these camps were organized, so that the common man could attain all the material and spiritual totality of life by participating in the sadhana camps. We can not only reach Siddhashram with the help of mantra, tantra and yantra, but can also vanquish all deficiencies and shortcomings in our lives. It is our duty to banish poverty from our lives. It's necessary to get rid of all diseases, and if we are facing any problems like differences with the spouse, marriage of children, increasing debts or any fear, then there are special mantras for solving them. In order to give practical knowledge of such mantras, how to use them, how to attain divinity through them, and how to achieve success through them, the sadhana camps are still being organized. I am very happy to have seen that people from all over India participated in the sadhana camps organized in the past few years. The people performed the sadhana and realized what divine life is, what the true aim and goal of life is, and how great the powers of the mantras are. They understood what tantra is, how mantra, tantra, yantra are used in a harmonized way, what is the significance of a guru in one's life is, and how much joy is experienced by sitting in the guru's feet and listening to his sermons, and the establishment of a close relation between a guru and a disciple is the process of elevating life to totality and spiritual heights. A guru tests his disciple and carefully finds out the shortcomings in him. If there is some deficiency in a disciple's material life, then the guru feels it necessary to remove this shortcoming by helping him acquire wealth, fame, position, a happy married life, so that the disciple could become free from all bondages. A disciple becomes liberated when the guru helps him to choose the right path, conquer death and reach Siddhashram. This is why a guru, sadhanas and sadhana camps are so important in one's life. I have highlighted the necessity of mantra, tantra, yantra, sadhana and a guru in one's life. Now a question arises, can a person acquire all this just by sitting near the guru? No, this is not possible. You won't be able to see the image on a television screen just by sitting before it. For that you shall have to switch on the TV set. Until the electricity flows through it, we won't be able to see anything on the screen. A similar flow of energy, of knowledge is present in a guru, and it is necessary to obtain this energy. This is only possible through Diksha. Diksha means building a complete relation of a guru and a disciple. Diksha means establishing the divine form of the guru in one's body in the Agya Chakra. Diksha means losing oneself in the devotion of the guru through complete dedication and selfless service to him. When a guru observes that a person is devoted and eager, has a desire to progress and also has a capability to do so, then he gives Guru Diksha to the disciple. And through this Diksha, the disciple becomes a part of the Guru's divinity. Then the disciple does not consider himself an entity separate from the Guru, but he becomes one with the Guru. Hence Diksha holds so much significance in life. If a person acquires a competent Guru and obtains Diksha from him, then he achieves half success there itself. After this, the disciple possesses nothing of his own. He becomes totally devoted to the Guru and he obeys all his commands. When the Guru gives Diksha, he says, your mind, your thoughts, your soul, your eyes, your body all belong to me now, and you are a part of me. You have to think only what I think. You have to do what I do, and you have to follow all my instructions. And this he says because the Guru knows what is good for the disciple. If a Guru is wise, then he shall first remove all the material deficiencies of his life. He guides the disciple and tells him how to accomplish a task. He tells him how to perform a sadhana and assures him that he does not have to resort to strange practices to achieve success in it. He need not go and sit in a cave. He need not wear a deer skin. He need not renounce the world. He need not wear ochre clothes. All this is guile and deceit. If everything could be achieved just by wearing saffron robes, then there are thousands of ascetics and monks roaming about who should have acquired everything. If anything could be gained by performing sadhanas, standing in water, then the fish would have been the greatest sadhaks. But in reality, nothing can be gained by all this. It is more important to link ourselves to the source of divine energy in the Guru. And when we shall be able to form this bond, he shall help you achieve all material requirements. He shall guide you onto the correct path and shall solve all your problems. He shall also tell you how you have to fight, with whom you have to fight. The Guru shall explain to you how to remove the deficiencies, weaknesses in your life by fighting them. And when all the material desires of his life are fulfilled, the Guru initiates him into the great sadhanas of the Mahavidyas. The Guru gives different dikshas for each sadhana, invites him to sadhana camps, initiates him into the use of mantras and makes him perform sadhanas. Thus the Guru leads the disciple onto the path walking on which he becomes capable of helping and guiding the common people and safeguarding the ancient knowledge and heritage of our ancestors. The disciple is then able to become godlike through the use of mantra. He achieves success in all fields of life using the yantra and tantra, accomplishes the sadhana of the 10 Mahavidyas and thus reaches Siddhashram, the abode of great saints and yogis. Siddhashram, the divine land where Lord Krishna, ascetics, sages and yogis like Bhishma, Yudhishthir, Karna, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Atri and Kanad are physically present even today after thousands of years. The real utility of life is when we are able to stand with them and tell them that we too are a part of their divinity and that we have followed the same path through which they had reached such great spiritual heights. Somewhere along the way, our earlier generations had strayed from this path and they had started to consider material success to be the fulfillment of life. But true joy is not achieved in such a mundane life. Just look what is happening in America today. The people there become so fed up and mentally disturbed due to so much materialism that they leave their country and migrate to other parts of the world as hippies. They reach Mathura, Dwarika and the beaches of Goa in search of peace. But peace is attained by establishing the universe in one's body, and the process of realizing the universe within oneself is called sadhana. By participating in sadhana camps, you can achieve fulfillment in your mundane as well as spiritual lives. To achieve complete fulfillment of life, you should remember three things. Firstly, you have to remain in contact with the Guru while you carry on all your family responsibilities. It's said in the Shastras that the hour just before sunrise is the right time to meditate on the Guru. If Guru sadhana and contemplation of the Guru is carried out during this hour, then your thoughts are sure to reach the Guru, and if you are capable enough, you can even receive telepathic messages from him. It is a perfect time to lose oneself in the divinity of the Guru and obtain instructions from him regarding sadhanas. Secondly, you should pledge to spread and propagate the knowledge of our ancestors through the magazine all over the world. You shall have to make sacrifices. You shall have to move forward, and you may even have to hear criticism of those who are ensnared in materialism. Thirdly, you shall have to go and sit in the feet of the Guru and receive valuable instructions from him regarding the sadhanas by participating in the sadhana camps. Thus you shall be able to achieve success in life. You shall be able to accomplish the Mahavidya sadhana. You shall be able to conquer death and reach Siddhashram, thus attaining fame by entering into oneself and becoming one with the Guru. I bless you and may you achieve all this.